Welcome to my channel. This is first part of Scary Room Rants. Our first Reddit user asked, "What is the creepiest thing you've experienced while renting out your spare room?" Let me read. I am a 26-year-old woman, and I was traveling for work and needed a place to stay in another city. So I turned to a popular rental app and found a really cute, cheap room in a one-bedroom apartment in what seemed like a nice area. The pictures were great and the room looked cozy. It was in an old building, but it was close to work and within my budget. Yeah, I decided to book it. On the day I was supposed to check in, I got a message from the host saying that she had just gotten back from a long trip and that she was sorry that it took her so long to get back to me, but that she was excited to meet me. When I arrived, I let myself in with the key she had given me and started unpacking. I had the place to myself, and everything seemed fine. The room was small, but it was just as the pictures had showed. There was a double bed, a dresser, a desk, and a closet. The walls were a really pretty shade of light blue, and there was a big window with a latch. The room was on the market for $450 per month, and utilities were included. To be honest, it was a little bit of a fixer-upper, but I didn't mind, and it was definitely a good deal. The first night I stayed there, I woke up in the middle of the night to what sounded like scratching in the walls. I just kind of brushed it off as old house noises and went back to sleep. But then the next morning when I woke up, I noticed that my dresser had these strange markings on it, like someone had taken a fork and made patterns in the wood. It wasn't very deep, just shallow lines. I thought maybe it was just watermarks from a glass of water that had been left there, but I cleaned it off and dried it with a towel, and the markings were still there. It freaked me out a little, but I just tried to shake it off and chalked it up to an overactive imagination. After all, it was an old house, and who knows how many people had slept in that room before me. It wasn't until later that week that I found out why those scratches were there. I was going through some of the stuff I had brought with me, and I came across an old photo album. As I was looking through it, I came across a picture of the room I was renting, and it was dated 2 years prior. On the back of the photo, I could see the same markings on the dresser. I was freaking out, wondering if there was someone else in the room with me at night. Then I remembered the noise I had heard, and the fact that the door had been slightly open in the morning when I woke up. I decided to look through the app reviews for this place. I found that the last review had been written 2 years ago, and it was from a woman around my age saying how much she loved the room and how responsive the landlord was. The next day, I went to the front desk to ask about the previous tenant. The woman there said that she didn't know anything about her and that she had only lived there for a couple months. When I told her about the scratches on the dresser, she said that she would look into it and get back to me. A few days passed, and I still hadn't heard back from the landlord. I messaged her about it, and she said that she would come by the next day. When she came by, I showed her the markings on the dresser, and she acted really surprised. She said that she had no idea how they got there, and that I should just get rid of the dresser. When I told her that I thought the previous tenant had carved them into the wood, she suddenly got really angry and said that I shouldn't be talking about her like that. She said that I was being disrespectful and that she wanted me to leave. I was confused and upset, so I packed up and left. When I got home, I did some digging and found out that the landlord had filed a police report saying that the previous tenant had vanished without a trace 2 years ago. The police had investigated and found nothing. Now, not only does no one know what happened to her, but the landlord acts like she never even existed. What the hell? Yeah, I'd probably get out of that place too. Remind me to never use that rental app again. Our next Reddit user asked, "What is the creepiest thing you've experienced while renting out your spare room?" Let me read. My ex-husband and I had a spare bedroom in our home that we rented out to make extra money. One night we were awakened to loud banging on the wall. We assumed it was the tenant. We called his name, and he opened the door in a panic and said that he didn't do it. He said he would check on it in the morning. In the morning, we checked the wall, and there was a big hole where the banging sound had come from. We called him, and he denied doing it. We told him he needed to fix it. He said he would, but the repair guy he sent gave us a weird look when he saw the hole and said that it wasn't recent. The repair guy also said the wall had been hollow and that someone had put something on the other side of the wall to make it look solid. The hollow space was behind the closet. We told our tenant to pack up and leave immediately. He threw all of his stuff in the front yard and moved out. Later that day, my husband and I were in the kitchen making dinner when we heard a loud crash from the room. We went in to find that all the clothes he had left in the closet had been destroyed. There were thousands of little holes in them. My husband and I have never seen anything like it. It looked like a crazed person had taken a needle and poked holes in every piece of clothing. As my husband and I stood in the middle of the room staring at the holes, we could feel something in the room with us. We ran out of the house and locked it. We never went inside again. That house was built 100 years ago and has never sold. It's still in our family, and we rent out the house to college students. To date, no one has ever stayed in that spare bedroom. Those are our scary room rentals. Part 2. Do you have a creepy past roommate story? If so, share it in the comments below, and it may be read in a future episode. And if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new videos every single day.